Hallo und willkommen zu der Spezialepisode. Wer wird Millionär? Zodiac Trial Edition, denn anscheinend müssen wir jetzt richtig gut antworten, denn wir wollen wissen, wie alles abgelaufen ist. Wer hat wen gekillt? Und dafür müssen wir erstmal ein wenig rumrätseln. Okay, fangen wir an. Wer hat Pig getötet? Es war jemand mit einer Waffe. Es könnte also Bunny gewesen sein, aber Bunny und Tiger hatten Alibis. Das heißt, er war es nicht. Es könnte Horse gewesen sein, aber Horse hat, glaube ich, wen anders getötet. Mal gucken. Ox. Ox passt nicht. Tiger würde auch nicht passen. Bunny würde vielleicht funktionieren mit der Waffe. Dragon weiß ich nicht. Aber laut Snake hatten die beiden Alibi. Horse war mit Sheep. Sheep war es nicht. Rooster. Ich denke mal, ich gehe mal mit Bunny erstmal. It had to be Bunny, I guess. Bunny, eh? Dragon's account of him was pretty suspicious. I don't think it's wrong to assume he was trying to kill Dragon there. He's the type to use a pistol to carry out his dirty work. And he's unaccounted for at the number of time periods. But he is accounted for at the most important time period, right? Apparently, Tiger said he was with her when Pig was shot. Doesn't that clear him? Crap, I totally forgot about that. It's alright, Mouse. We all make mistakes. That said, I know you don't want to accept the easy answer, but doesn't Dog being the culprit make the most sense? Nee, okay. Oh Gott, warte, ich hab was im Hals. Okay, ich bin zurück. Yay, es geht weiter. So, Bunny war es nicht, das war mir klar. Wer kann noch schießen sonst? Snake kann schießen, aber Snake war es nicht. Rooster und Sheep auch nicht. Snake vielleicht? Aber ich meine, Dragon hat die Waffe gehabt, so gesehen, aber ist schwer. Snake? Aber ich meine, wir wissen nicht, dass Snake schießen kann, weil das nie wirklich gesagt wurde bisher. Nochmal gucken. Es konnte nicht Bunny sein und Tiger auch nicht. Gut. Dragon und Snake haben sich ebenfalls gegenseitig Alibis gegeben. Horse wird nicht schießen. Ox und Rooster auch nicht. Und Sheep und Horse auch nicht. Vielleicht, naja, Snake? It had to be Snake, perhaps? You're accusing Snake? He killed Rooster, he admitted as much. True. But it's not as though any of the other evidence fits, does it? Snake was Das ist wahr. Okay, ich muss wirklich gucken, wer die Chance dazu hatte. Ox, Rooster hätte die Chance gehabt. Sheep, ne. Horse auch nicht. Tiger und Bunny auch nicht. Dragon? It had to be Dragon. Almost certainly. Dragon, then. Too much of it fits. She was able to choke out Sheep, to beat up Tiger, to attack Horse. She's got the experience to be a calculating killer. She's unaccounted for a lot of the time. And she even confessed to killing Bunny. But Snake gave an alibi for Pig's murder to Dragon of his own volition. Is there any reason he'd do that if Dragon was the killer? There isn't, is there? None that I can see. Mouse. Oh! Aber wer sonst? Ich meine, Sheep ist es nicht gewesen, glaube ich. Sheep war es niemals, oder? Rooster und Ox hatten sie gegenseitig ein Alibi. Tiger und Bunny, Dragon und Snake. Von Sheep wissen wir gar nichts. Sheep killed Pig, that's the answer. Sheep? Yeah, Sheep. It's the only thing that makes sense. Height matches, modus operandi matches, but most importantly, she doesn't have an alibi from when Pig was killed. In fact, we have explicit confirmation that she wasn't around when Pig was killed. She went and killed Pig, I don't know why, perhaps she was the other traitor. But if she was the other traitor, Mouse, how'd she end up dead? I'm getting to that. Oh, es war wirklich Sheep? The mistake here is thinking of this as the act of one individual. Rather, this is a sequence of isolated incidents. Next comes who killed Sheep. Knowing what we know, I think the only likely suspect would be Tiger. Perhaps she figured out that Sheep killed Pig, although I have no idea. How? I have no idea. But judging by Sheep's cause of death and the information on the other suspects, it has to be Tiger who enters the library and kills Sheep. She thinks Sheep is still alone, but Horse is actually searching the same area as Sheep, just in the library's other room. When he returns to the scene, he is then enraged. A brawl with Tiger ensues. Horse wins up the victor. Of course, Horse killed Tiger. It's the only thing that makes sense. But when Horse checks Tiger's tablet, he discovers that she's not a traitor. Maybe he fears what will happen if he admits to killing someone who wasn't a traitor. Maybe that's why he quickly comes up with the lie about being hit over the head. Would have saved all our asses a whole lot of trouble if he was just upfront then, but whatever. I don't know exactly what was going on through his head. I never will. Whatever the motive, he doesn't fess up to his kill, so Bunny and Horse are left to their own devices. No, Bunny, he's awfully suspicious of Horse, continues to investigate, and there he finds a silenced pistol, which she somehow had to begin with, on her body. What happens next? Judging by the fact that Horse was shot in the back of the head, maybe it runs something like this. Perhaps Bunny asked to check Horse's head to examine the supposed wound. When he looked and saw no injury, his suspicion of Horse being the traitor were confirmed. He knew that if Horse was a traitor, this was the best chance he'd get, so right then and there he fired. Upstairs, I had just informed Ox and Rooster about the mysterious death going on around. And for none of these two men, this is an opportunity. I don't know why Rooster had the desire to kill Ox, but I'm guessing it's for reasons unrelated to the game. It was a personally motivated kill. It happened much as Snake deduced. A quick slash through the neck from behind. Rooster decided to use the chaos to his advantage and pin his kill on the other murderer. Unfortunately, Snake would later see through his ruse, and when Rooster tried to get away, Snake wouldn't hesitate to punish the guilty party. Meanwhile, Dragon walks in on the scene with Bunny. Bunny tries to placate Dragon to show Horse's tablet, proving that he was the traitor. That Bunny was in the right. When Horse's tablet proves otherwise, this comes as a shock to both Dragon and Bunny. Bunny realizes Dragon's ill intent, perhaps killing intent, right away. Maybe he tried to pull a gun on Dragon to placate her, to buy time for him to explain himself. Whatever the motivation, it results in a misunderstanding, and Dragon ends things right then and there. I see. That all makes sense. Well reasoned as usual, Mouse. But I must ask, what about Dragon and Snake's death? Surely those were caused by Major Trinket, no? No, I don't think there were. After all, if I'm right, Dogs had no part in these proceedings. He has no reason to target the two. I think what actually happened might have been a lot more petty and tragic than that. Both the tablets were by the bodies, right? I think their fight might have evolved. One of them snatched and tried to operate the other's tablet to execute them. Maybe Snake felt similar to me, and suspected Dragon as a traitor of their story. The executed one, in the dying throwers, lunge bad and operate the first person's tablet, causing them to be executed. A battle of mutual destruction. Indeed, it is possible. So then, is Dog not an enemy to be feared? I don't think so, but there's one thing that doesn't sit right with me. Oh. Click. Pig's death Pig's death is just weird. Why? You've lied to me, right, monkey? What? Horse said that sheep went to go undo you from your strains. However, you told me nobody passed through the cafeteria on their own during the time of the murder. Oh, that. I don't know what to say, Mouse. I just have to assume sheep made up some excuse to Horse, a reason to split up. And then she deliberately avoided the cafeteria, hoping to avoid detection from me. After all, she surely had some urge to not get caught, right? Yeah, that makes sense. Sorry for doubting you, monkey. Not at all. There's no faith without doubt. Still, the awkward tension brought about by my accusation lingered in the air. You should get to work on trying to reach the finish line. Monkey began anxiously drumming on the side of her chair.
If you gather the tablets and minor trinkets of all the victims, you should be able to reach it in very little time.
And Doc?
Surely if he had any sense, and if he was really alive, he had made his way back to the cafeteria by now, instead of furthering so much doubt. There was supposed to be a group meeting by now, correct? It is true shame, but him not showing up must mean that he's not able to anymore.
I thought about it for a moment and realized Monkey was right. If Doc wasn't the culprit, then him not showing up must mean he's... Then would I be surviving alone? That felt horrible to think about, but for now, I should focus on collecting the tablets and trinkets, like Monkey said. I began going around the school, collecting what I could find. But then, when I was going up the stairs to collect Ox and Rooster's tablets, schlick, I could feel blades piercing into my neck. What the hell? What was happening? The pain was on fire, but what really gripped me was confusion. I was being executed, right? To die like this? Instantly, my mind doubled back to Doc. Doc, were my deductions wrong? Were you behind Snakes and Dragon's death? Were you behind all the deaths? If not, why was I suddenly being executed for no rhyme or reason? It doesn't matter. Fuck. Finally, the excruciating pain won over my reasoning. For my few remaining minutes alive, my head was filled with nothing but agony. When I finally died, it was a relief. 10 of Hearts. A fate far trickier to comprehend than most. One that requires a full understanding of the board. At any rate, one thing is simple. Mouse can't turn her head from the truth. If she discovers the true origin of the killings, this can be prevented. Okay. Ich meine, die machen Sinn, weil Tiger dachte, dass Sheep... Okay, Ox macht keinen Sinn. Bei den Rooster sind Missverständnisse gewesen, logisch. Und Dragon Snake's Death auch noch.
Ox's death is weird. I thought your explanation made sense.
Yeah, well, I don't doubt the details of it. But why did Rooster do it? He seemed, at the very least, harmless.
To kill Ox like that feels so weird. What's tragic is that there's no longer any way to find the truth.
Right. Anyone who could answer those questions is dead. And it was that grim note that lingered in the air. Okay, das ist auch nicht das Richtige. If Snake... Okay, das macht natürlich Sinn. Es macht für mich Sinn im Kopf von wegen, weil, ja gut, Dragon und Snake, Snake dachte, dass Dragon killt, Dragon dachte, dass Snake Killer ist. Das macht Sinn. Die beiden machen auch Sinn, so im Kopf her. Ich nehme das mal.
If Snake and Dragon died like it's sad, there's no way you could have been ignorant of it, right? Mouse? I mean, I know you said you were focused on your meditation, but a conflict like that surely had to draw your attention. I just don't buy that you would calmly ignore when a dying person lunged at another with the intent to kill when they were mere feet from you. I'm sorry, Mouse. Those deaths truly fall under my responsibility. However, it is sad to say, but I completely missed the scene you described. No, you didn't just miss it. You said you heard them both cry out in pain, and that's when you looked to them. But that can't be what happened. Maybe I was confused. A lot happened, you know, and it was awfully graphic. You know how unreliable memories get under times of stress.
That's not the only thing I noticed, Monkey. A cold shiver went up my spine. Something in the back of my head was shouting at me to stop. To not push any further. What did it matter at this point? Learning the truth wouldn't help me at all. Let lying dogs rest. But I was just too curious. Sheep went from Pig's murder to the library. She should have passed by the cafeteria. You should have seen her.
Mouse, that's not proof of anything. She probably deliberately took a route to avoid the cafeteria, so I wouldn't spot her.
Maybe. But that's not what's weird to me.
What's weird is that Horse said that she claimed to be going to let you free from your restraints again. That implies she also let you free from your restraints to input a move the one before. So did I. And I came right at the end of the round. Which means, when I helped you out, she must have already come to let you input your move. So Monkey, why didn't you tell me that you had already input your move? There's something even more telling to me. When Horse said Sheep left to free you from your restraints, Bunny didn't even bat an eye. Not a single question of clarification. Almost as though he knew what the Horse was referring to. Almost as though he just realized that Sheep was doing what he did and stayed silent, just like I did. And that's not all. Snake's alibi of dragons was oddly caveated. Keine Ahnung. He made sure the shot happened on the 5th round, not the 4th, and that the murder happened on the 1st floor. Using reverse logic on the statement, that means if the murder happened in the 4th round, or if it happened on the 2nd or 3rd floor, Snake couldn't provide an airtight alibi. Now why would this be the case? Perhaps did Dragon come down to help you from your restraints in the 4th round, and Snake helped you from those restraints in the 5th round? Mouse, what are you implying? My explanation of the murders is right, I think, but it doesn't account for why people have been acting weird. But there might be one common denominator. You're having some pretty weighty allegations. You're having some pretty weighty allegations here, Mouse. But I don't suppose you have any proof of what you're saying. I'm sorry, Monkey, but I do. And it comes to the advice you just gave me. The chaos and darkness of this race will erase what happens here. The truth will be written by the survivors. The moment I heard that line, I thought I recognized it. And then I remembered. When Dragon was justifying murdering Bunny, she said, "After all, the chaos and darkness of this race will tear away all the shit. Our survivors will write the truth." And when I confronted Snake about this murder, he said, "This can all be erased by the chaos and the darkness. A truth can be written by our survivors." That's not a coincidence, Monkey. Don't try to say it is. Monkey, what did you do? I was the one who made Brian the way he is. What? The wild shift in tone threw me for a complete loop. Still, I wanted to hear what you were saying. Well, that's not quite right. He was already heading down this path, but I didn't stop him. Not when I could help at any rate. In fact, it's possible I encouraged him. What? When he talked about all these conspiracy theories about his father was really innocent, it was fascinating to me. These weren't the standard crackpot nonsense. They were really well thought out. At times I couldn't help but wonder where he was getting all this information from. And I indulged him. I heard him out. I was well aware that it was wrong. It was wrong to enable him like this, but I was just curious. So curious, so curious to hear what he had to say. It was just such a fascinating case. So I engaged with him on this subject. I treated his assumptions as correct and talked through them to see where it went. So instead of stopping his delusion, I enabled them. Until it was too late. Towards the end, I finally realized that I had gone too far. That he had gone too far. That he was no longer simply in denial. That he was actively putting belief in fantasies. That his value system was corrupted. I tried to backtrack, to stop it, to snap it into reality, but that final meeting, the last one he showed up to, I really fucked it up. Monkey, what does this have to do with anything? When I sat there, tied up, facing down death, the void of nothingness felt so overwhelming, so empowering. So to distract myself, I started thinking of other things. Of past meetings. Of Brian's theories. And I started thinking to myself, what if he was right? What if these people did deserve to be here? My curiosity started eating at me again. Was she really that naive? Was Tiger really that unstable? Was Dagon really that hateful? Was Snake really that cold-hearted? Mouse, you can't understand just how easy it was to push these people off the brink. I wasn't being some master manipulator. I was giving them the lightest taps on the back, and they fell so easily. It was incredible. It's funny. I'm the one who's always preached about keeping your mental health in check, but in the face of my impending, inevitable death, I think I was the one who went a little bit crazy. I looked at this pathetic, chuckling lady with pure disgust and horror. This couldn't be the person I knew. This couldn't be my therapist. This couldn't be Jay Hansen. Oh, Jay Hansen? Cooler Name. This was a demon. Someone who drove a group of people to murder from the comfort of a chair. And for what? Curiosity? Was she serious? It was appalling. It was more crushing than anything else that had happened. I trusted you. You did. You've always had a tendency towards codependency, Mouse. Make sure to note that to your next therapist. You're horrible. I don't even know you. You don't know me. Please treat the me you see before you as some pathetic stranger. I don't want to be remembered by you for this awful person this chair has made me. This accursed, horrific, mind-changing chair. It's rotten. Rotten! I just stared at her as she squirmed. It looked like she was trying to get free, but she was tied up tight. I didn't know what to say. I'm going to get my dog, and we're going to escape together. You do that. I started to walk away, but before I could leave, Monkey chimed up once more. Mouse? What? Before I finally truly meet my maker. If I'm confessing everything, there's something else I think you should know. About Brian? No. I was in the mood, but god damn it. I couldn't just say not ask to go on. What is it? Go get dog first. I think he'd be interested to hear about this as well. Fine. And like that, I left Monkey and began to search through the school for more for dog. It took a while, but eventually I found him lying on a couch in some student commons area on the 3rd floor. Dog! What the hell are you doing? Oh, Mouse. Oh, definitely no napping, that's for sure. You're telling me that all this shit has been going down and you've been here napping? Mouse, I literally just said I definitely wasn't napping. Didn't you hear me? I can't believe this. We're in a death game. You have to input an action every round. What if you slept through a round and got executed? Well, first of all, that would be really funny. And second, it's not like I've been sleeping, just resting. We were supposed to meet again in 2 rounds at the cafeteria. So, full disclosure, I totally forgot that until you just said that 2 seconds ago. I couldn't even think of any other words. He was the only other person getting out of this life. I could hear the gods laughing. I imagine I'm in for an earful from Ox when I get back down there. I wish. Oh. I filled him in on everything that happened. He took it better than one would expect, which I couldn't even call surprising at this point. That's pretty fucking rough, huh? Yeah, you're telling me. You know, I think I want to have a little chat with Monkey now. So do I. Plus, she has something important to tell us. Something important? Goody! Goody! And like that, the 2 of us made our way down to the cafeteria. There, for the final time, I was met with a shocking sight. Season come. Yep. Where I expected Monkey to be tied up, I was met with an empty chair and jump ropes on the floor. Are you serious? Are you fucking serious? I can't leave anywhere for a minute without everything exploding.
That's, yeah, wow.
Alright, so a total psycho has escaped. What's the plan now?
Has she?
What do you mean? The ropes are off. She clearly got out of them.
But look at this. Doc went over to them and picked them up. These were cut, deliberately.
Okay, well, I guess she had a blade instrument on her.
Mouse, you know that doesn't make sense, right? Between the traitor announcement and Monkey being tied up, she was under constant surveillance the whole time. She never had time to grab a knife.
So fine, she got it beforehand.
But before the traitor announcement, was there any reason why Monkey would grab a knife? Or alternatively, is there any way that she would just have a knife on her person there beforehand? Even if she is the complete nutcase you described her as, that just doesn't add up.
Well, she must have cut the ropes somehow.
Must she have?
Doc, you're not seriously going to suggest that someone else helped her escape, are you?
No, but I'm going to suggest that someone else cut those ropes.
Who? Who could have done that? Because I left her tied up. You were supposedly napping on the 3rd floor, and everybody else is dead. Pig was shot through the chest. Sheep had her neck snapped. Tiger bled to death. Ox throat was slit with a knife. Horse was shot point blank in the back of the head. Bunny was beaten and strangled to death.
Rooster was stabbed again to death.
And Dragon and Snake both were executed by the collars. But there's nobody who should have been able to free her.
Hey, I'm not here to give you an answer. I'm just saying, it seems to me like there has to have been I'm just saying, it seems to me like there has to have been a third party involved. Brian. And it seems to me like they wanted to make it look like Monkey escaped on her own. Es wird spannend anscheinend nochmal. Okay, dann machen wir das nächsten Part. Aber ich mag Monkey immer noch gerne. Ich weiß nicht, Monkey ist so ein spannender Charakter und ich mag sie immer noch gerne, auch wenn sie eine tolle Nutcase ist. Mir egal, ich liebe Monkey. Monkey forever. Monkey. Naja, ich danke auf jeden Fall fürs Zugucken und dann bis nächstes Mal bei Zodiac Trial. Tschüss.